Hi everyone, it's Nishi. Hope you have a really good day. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is how do you work out what to charge your customers. And really what I'm going to do is, based on being a service business, but I know it's kind of different for product-based businesses. But let's talk about service-based businesses for the purposes of this video. And what I want to go into is just the methodology. Like obviously we've got the ability to work out in quite a lot of detail, but like for any business owner, they should just have a simple calculation to hand when they just need to sense check what their pricing should be. So typically when I'm talking about service-based businesses, it's about what they need to make per hour. I'm not necessarily talking about communicating an hourly rate to a customer, because I do have opinions about that and I won't go into them in this video. But what I'm talking about is why you need to be aware of what your hourly rate is. So even if you go to a customer and have a fixed fee on something, you'll know how many hours it takes to do that bit of work, even if the customer doesn't, and you'll be able to just sense check it yourself to make sure that you're getting paid enough per hour to make it worthwhile. So one of the most important things in terms of being able to set an hourly rate really is to understand like what are your goals in terms of your personal income and take home pay, and because that's always got to be the starting point for a pricing discussion. So if you know how much money you want to be making a year, let's say it's £50,000 a year before tax, then the second thing you need to really understand is what are your overheads and staff costs. So if you know your overheads and staff costs are another 50,000, then ultimately you then know that you need to make £100,000 a year to cover your overheads and also give you the amount of money you want to earn. So then how do you work out what that is per hour that you actually charge out? So the next thing to actually think about is how many hours of work can you actually do? And I'm not talking about the work that you do on your business, whether it's marketing or keeping your accounting software up to date. What I'm really talking about is the work that you're doing that's client facing and that you can actually bill out for. So once you know that and you've got an idea of how many hours you can actually bill out for, you can take that £100,000 that you need to be able to pay your overheads, your team and yourself, and then you can then divide that by the total number of hours you know you can work. Quite often actually, even those 40 working hours in a week, you might actually find that there's only practically 25 of them you can do when you don't have to do the traveling in between or do other bits in between. So once you figure that out, so the total number of hours you can work per year and then divide what you have to earn to cover your overheads and pay yourself by the total number of hours you can work a year, and you have then got an hourly rate. And that is the simplest way of working out what you should charge per hour. And one of the next things you do after that is obviously sense check it, because you've got to see what your competitors are charging. And then once you understand what your competitors are charging, you might go back and reevaluate that, because if you need to charge like £100 an hour, whereas your competitor's only charging £25 an hour. But what is better in business to actually do is, instead of just lowering the amount you want to earn per hour and compared to what your competitor earns, what you should really be doing is just working hard to justify why you charge that extra in terms of your marketing, so anyone comparing you to them knows why it's worth paying the extra. And also just focus on building up your service to a point where it's better quality, so it is actually worth charging more per hour. So this is the gist of it. If you don't actually have any kind of calculations or anything in terms of how to price your business, that is the simplest way, the way I've just worked it out. But more importantly, if you do want to figure out how to get this done in a bit more detail with a bit more thought and for a larger business or that you're planning to build, then actually what you should do is just reach out to me, because this is something I actually specialize in. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to check out our website where we've got some really good content.